So it's 8:30 a.m. and it's gentle breeze, and I felt a drop of rain. So it's really not doing anything out here right now. Not yet. I'm out here on the front porch with Panther now. Dawn had said it would be a good idea to come out and take a video and a couple of pictures before the storm, just for comparison after the storm. Of course, that was several days ago when he said that, and I'm really hopeful now that the before and after video and pictures are gonna look the same or really close, you know. That's what I'm hopeful for. I was shocked the other day when Don said that he had taken out, well, 17 trees had fallen over in Hurricane Fran. Really, based on the change in the storm, I'm not predicting we're going to lose anywhere near that many trees now, but one never knows about these things. There's my Panther buddy. Hey, bud. I'm making extra bacon because this is the kind of thing we can keep cold and ready to go in the refrigerator to eat if somebody's hungry. I'm also getting ready to whip up a big batch of meatballs. Don came out and started Ruby charging to get her back up to 90%. And he's also charging up all of our Ego batteries, which would power the blower chainsaw. So that's good. There's my boy. You ready to go walk and get the paper? Are ya? Aw, you're so sweet. He goes, what I'm really ready for, Mom, is a belly rub. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. You're so cute. You are. So this is the water in the intermittent creek this morning on the wood bridge, people bridge side, front yard side. And there's a little bit of water down there this year, or right now, which is kind of unusual for the end of summer, but not a lot today. Tomorrow I expect it to be gushing. So here's the front yard on our way to get the paper. Obviously this tulip poplar here, that huge honkin' tree on the left, we would really like for it to be stable. Really appreciate it. Or, you know, come over here towards the driveway. That would be a mess, but not damage the house. Several times since Dawn's been in the house, there have been rainfall totals of 10+ inches in 24 to 36 hours. We know this yard can handle that no problem, so we're not directly worried about flooding here at our property, although 10+ inches down east, Hurricane Matthew and some Floyd have done devastation down there, so we really pray for them that they're not going to see as much rain as possibly predicted. Here they're still saying 3 to 6 in like 48+ hours. We should have no problem handling that. Bjorn's on in the background, and Don's getting ready to have breakfast and some more coffee. Don said he thought about blowing the driveway this morning, but then he remembered it's just going to be covered in leaves by the end of the day anyway. The wonderful team at Tesla sent us this picture to let us know that Sapphire is safe and sound. So we watched the 5 a.m. Florence update, which we had recorded, and then we also watched, of course, the 11 a.m. update. And except for the fact that they show it coming across the lower part of North Carolina, a little farther north, actually making landfall at Wilmington and then sort of curving towards South Carolina, it was pretty much the same as it had been, so no real changes for us. It is 12:30 and Johnny and I are headed to town. It's perfectly safe for us to do so. We're not under evacuation here. The governor hasn't asked us to stay off the roads in our area. It's just a gentle breeze like it could be on any summer or fall day. So we're going to head to town for a little bit while the going is safe to do so. So our mission while we're out is to play Pokemon Go. Regionals are now hatching from eggs. And so we're trying to hatch some eggs and, you know, just play a little bit because we play every day a little bit. And we're also headed to Harris Teeter for sugar and ice cream. Yeah, the hummingbirds are out of sugar to make their nectar water, and I sure don't want them to not have it during the storm. Well, they have some today, but I need more to make more. And Don and Johnny had some sort of a bet over ice cream. And no one will be complaining tonight that we have ice cream on a Friday night, so yeah. So that's our big trip into town today. Johnny asked me to pull over so he could check this out. So Ruby's charged up to about 85%. Dawn pulled the plug at 11 a.m. when we went up to peak rate. We may try to top her off later or not. We're not anticipating having to evacuate, although starting off with a 90% charge is a good idea. I asked Johnny to get out over here and move this little limb out from in front of the car. It's sticking up just a little higher than I wanted to drive Ruby over. Thanks, bud. Here in the Guardian Angel parking lot, a lot of people are waited to get ice in just to be prepared. Johnny said he wanted to go into Guardian Angel and say hi to his friends and make sure everybody was okay. So we've parked in a different location away from all the people trying to get ice. And we're gonna go inside for a quick 30-minute or less stop since I was here yesterday. Johnny, you didn't tell me it was nap time. Johnny's pretending he's a Borg. But a friendly Borg.
Is futile.
Exactly.
To hugs. Resistance to hugs is futile.
I took minor jabbing about coming in 2 days in a row, but we had fun in there and Johnny got to say hello to everybody. So I'm interested to see if there are a lot of people still waiting over here for propane at KB Johnson. We just went past Harris Teeter and we saw a ton of people waiting or in the Harris Teeter parking lot. Yes, there are people waiting there for propane, but not the 30 people that I saw yesterday. We decided Walmart instead of Harris Teeter. Better parking and possibly easier in and out. As you would expect, not too much bottled water just lying around. There's plenty of beer. Johnny's checking out this cute little red Toyota.
There's a Toyota Ohio State.
Ohio State, that's funny.
That's what the badging says.
We got what we needed inside, and there's just a little misty rain out there right now. I know some folks wonder, how do people with electric cars handle hurricane situations versus folks with gasoline cars. And I really don't think there's too much of a difference. You know, we charge up to almost full, and gasoline cars fill up to almost full. If we need to evacuate, we look for an open supercharger and we stop to charge when we need a charge. Gasoline powered cars look for open gas stations that have gasoline. There's always the potential that there'll be a short-time shortage of gasoline or stations unable to pump due to power outages, just like there's a chance of a supercharger going down due to a power outage in the area. So it's pretty much the same. You know, I guess if you're a family with only one car, period, no matter which type it is, you can run into issues. Those of us that have both types or have even more than one vehicle, we have some additional options. So we're not thinking we need to evacuate, or we would be charging probably up to 100. If we had received an evacuation order, let me be clear, we would have charged to 100 before leaving. But we don't have an order to evacuate, and we also don't anticipate the need to evacuate. So probably a 90% charge is good for us. We'll just be doing limited around Fuquay, driving for several days most likely. Hopefully we'll be able to charge up nightly like we normally would and that kind of a thing. But it's really pretty similar. I think it's similar. I was pleased to read that Tesla has software unlimited, the battery, 60 kilowatt battery packs on some S's and X's that are capable of being charged to 75 kilowatts. So that they did that for Irma down in Florida, and now they're doing it for people, Tesla drivers affected by Florence. They also have given free supercharging to anybody in the, I guess, hurricane warning watch zones. And they said they're going to leave that in effect through middle of October, and we'll check in with people before turning it back off. So I think that's really great that Tesla made one less worry for Tesla families trying to either evacuate from or live through the hurricane. So thank you, Tesla, for doing that. That's love that decision. There's Donnie. Hey, Donnie. He's out for his run. Don's off running. It's currently not raining, and it's not rained much, and I'm gonna see if I can mow the lawn a little bit, get a little exercise walking.
There's my girl out here. She must be feeling better today.
Well, I got 2/3 of it done, and Don is back from his run and he's finishing up the rest of it. I did go ahead blow the driveway up top here. One thing after storms, sometimes the snakes come out of the woods. They get, you know, dislodged from their homes. So us being able to see in the grass, I think, is a good thing if we have to be out here. Not afraid of the snakes, but I'd like to see them before I step on them.
Walked by, replaced the battery, get a new battery, and so I went down the driveway and came back up, and when I went down, that limb wasn't there. A little bit is all I had to do when my battery ran out. I mean, isn't that just the way it is? I mean, what is that? 2 passes and it...
It's just a few minutes before 5. We're getting ready to watch the latest report. We've had very, very light rain. It's just kind of breezy. I've held off on feeding the cats, which normally I would have done between 4 and 5. Because if I do decide I want to catch them, they'll be more cooperative if they're hungry. It's 7 p.m. and those meatballs and spaghetti squash sure did make a great dinner. Jay Leno's Garage was asking questions about the DeLorean and Back to the Future. I had this tucked away for Johnny and decided maybe tonight was the right night to give it to him. It's new out right now, a Hot Wheels 50 car. Well, I am really troubled about what to do for these guys. The toss-up between keeping them safe and upsetting them and scaring them to death. So what I've decided for now is we're not supposed to have any storm force, tropical force winds before 2 a.m. So I'm just going to monitor hourly. I'm a little worried they'll get scared and then I'll have trouble catching them, but I also don't want to put them up, you know, 8 hours in advance of the storm. So this is from about 7 o'clock tonight reporting. We're watching it around 8:15. This is Sloan Heffernan from WRAL. She is reporting live from the old, abandoned, no longer in use Kmart over on Highway 401 in Garner. This is right near where I saw that EMS truck out of Florida yesterday when I was coming back from taking Johnny to school. They've got EMS, first responders, search and rescue, all kind of special people. The Forestry Service of North Carolina is running the operation because they're used to coordinating help with fires. And all these people and all of their equipment is out in that Kmart parking lot ready to go into service wherever they need to be. They got people from Chicago, Oklahoma. Where else did they say, Donnie?
Chicago, Oklahoma, I don't remember.
Ohio, maybe Ohio too. Yeah, there's people from all over the country, and we know there's people from Florida there. So we really appreciate them coming to the Carolinas to help us out with this one. I think that is so cool.